And this year, don't forget to keep your furry friends safe this Halloween weekend. Whether you're heading out for a party or staying in for the night, there are lots of dangers for your pets out there. We'd like to introduce Alyssa Garcia. She's with Dogtopia. She's joining us now with some tips on how to keep our pets safe this Halloween. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning. Hi.
Well, first of all, we want to talk about, I have a little poodle and I would love to put her in a cute little costume. She's not so keen on the idea, but a lot of people dress up their pets. But what should we be aware of before we throw that costume on our dog this year?
Absolutely. So first things first is to make sure it's a breathable costume, something that they won't feel very restricted in. Dogs are very sensitive, so you want to make sure that their hearing and eyesight are unobstructed. You also want to make sure that they have no ingestible accessories on hand. So, some furry friends really love to get into destroying toys and things like that. So just be sure that there's nothing attached to your costume that you put on your dog that could cause an issue like that. And most importantly, just make sure that they are comfortable as well for wearing it for long periods of time. Some dogs just don't like wearing things on themselves, which is totally fair. And if you really, really want a photo op, I would highly recommend just simply using the costume for the photo op and then removing it from them, just to lessen their stress as well. And then if they do end up wearing a costume for long periods of time, do not leave them unattended whatsoever. It's very important because they can get snagged onto fence lines, different objects around your house, especially if you're not keeping an eye on them. Like I mentioned, the ingestible accessories, they can tear up the costume very easily, and that could be a very hefty vet bill on your part as well.
Yeah, and especially mentioning my dog, she just wouldn't like it and try to get out of it so fast. Alyssa, let's talk about candy because, Halloween, there's candy everywhere, especially if we have kiddos at home. Why is it so important to keep that candy away from your pets?
Yes, so it's very important. As we all know, chocolate is dangerous for dogs, but most people don't know that another artificial sweetener in candy, xylitol, is lethal to dogs. So any candy that, might not have chocolate but ends up getting into your dog's food, or they, find a piece of food on the floor, if it does have xylitol, that can be very dangerous for them to ingest. In addition to that, they can also ingest the candy wrappers if you're not looking well. And that on its own can cut up their intestines, can, pose a lot of issues for their gastrointestinal tract. In addition to that, I would highly recommend, if you do have candy out, place them in very high places if possible. If your dog is a climber or jumper, maybe even putting them in your fridge would be something ideal.
Getting him out of the way. Now, listen, we only have about 30 seconds left, but real quick, tell us, Halloween decorations, also something to consider.
Yes, so pumpkin and corn stalks can cause gastrointestinal issues. Candles, if you have them out and about, I would recommend placing those in a high place because one, they can burn the dogs, and two, they can also be knocked over by your dogs running around, and that on its own can cause a fire.
And we always think we know our pets, but they always surprise us, don't they?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Alyssa. Well, thanks so much for joining us this morning and sharing those tips with us to have a safe Halloween for our family and pets.